last 2 weekly training roundtables have covered hashtag Vibe Up Physical and hashtag Vibe Up Emotional, both available for you in your online learning center to watch for the first time if you haven't had a chance yet. And as always, valuable to return to. Vibe Up Physical, business miracleizing physical movement as a way to hashtag Vibe Up. Emotional, shifting out of coping and soothing and into nurture, utilizing the Business Miracles tool of the Rains It process, all to support you in hashtag Vibe Up. Why? Why are we giving this attention to Vibe Up over these 3 weekly trainings? Because as a whole, as a collective, globally, and especially for us who are highly sensitive, there is an experience right now of emotional aftershock. As a brief reminder, according to WebMD, emotional aftershocks are common and normal reactions to a traumatic event. According to verywellmind.com, emotional aftershocks can come what feels like out of the blue and in a form of a rush of overwhelming emotions that you aren't ready to understand or respond to, which can cause the body to rage, to cry, to disassociate, to shut down. And also, according to verywellmind.com, causes of collective emotional shock, aftershock, are things such as natural disasters, large groups of sudden death, racism, terrorism, violence. Sound familiar from anything over the last 3 years? Vibe Up is about being proactive rather than reactive. Please write that down. Hashtag Vibe Up is about being proactive rather than reactive. It's not about stuffing your emotions. It's not about pretending that you're not feeling what you're feeling. It's not aiming for perfectionism or holding others to perfectionism, such as, highly sensitive leadership training program, mentor, and or coach team. But instead, it's about being proactive rather than reactive, choosing to be the creator of your experience rather than a victim. It's also the opportunity, hashtag Vibe Up, to allow for these times to be happening for us, for you, rather than to us, to you. An untrained highly sensitive is going to default to victim. An untrained highly sensitive is going to default to the world is happening to me. How do I protect myself from that? A trained highly sensitive invested in self-employment success or leadership of any kind is going to choose to be the creator of your experience, and is going to choose to be open to seeing how circumstances are happening for you. Now, hashtag Vibe Up Spiritual. Spiritual, an adjective, relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. And I'll repeat that. Spiritual, an adjective, relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. Now, going back, I would say about 7 years around this time, I had been serving highly sensitive entrepreneurs and leaders for about 5 years at this point, and I connected with a member from Dr. Elaine Aron's team. Now, this is separate from the personal support that I had received from Dr. Elaine Aron when I first discovered that I was highly sensitive. This was about connecting with a member of her team. And believe it or not, I know it's crazy to think of, but at that time, serving highly sensitives in the workplace was like this radical concept. And her team, they were exploring, what does it mean for a highly sensitive to be able to excel in the workplace? I think they did a search. My name came up. They reached out and they wanted to have a conversation. What is it that you've been seeing? What is it that you've been learning? How is it that you are serving and supporting the people that you're coaching? In that conversation, this member of Dr. Elaine Aron's team, we hit upon the topic of spiritual. I spoke to being spiritual by nature as one of our highly sensitive strengths. This member of Dr. Aron's team pushed back and she was like, I don't really see that. It's actually that highly sensitives use spirituality as a way to soothe. And I pushed back on the pushback and said, actually, my experience has shown me, my personal experience is that when I am intentional with the way that I use a spiritual practice, it actually strengthens my connection to my nervous system and allows me to have more access to my nervous system as a strength when I am then suddenly in pressured work business situations. I'd love to say that we resolved in that conversation. We did not. We held our individual stances, and I still hold that stance. So you can look at spiritual as a way to soothe. Oh my gosh, I've had such a bad day. I have to journal. I have to take a bath. I have to pray. I have to go to church for, 5 hours in order to recover. Or you can look at spiritual as nurture, which again is proactive. A reminder to soothe is a verb that means to tranquilize or calm a person or their emotions. It can also mean to relieve, comfort, or refresh. Soothe can be used to mitigate or allay sorrow or doubt. And nurture is a verb that means to take care of, to feed, to protect, to support, to encourage, or develop someone or something, such as spirituality as a strength. The verb nurture can also mean to cherish a hope, a belief, or ambition. To me, I associate those words with a spiritual practice: cherish, hope, belief. Soothe is more reactive, nurture is more proactive. Both are of value. Yet, #VibeUpSpiritual gives us the opportunity to consider spiritual as proactivity versus reactivity. Spiritual as expansive versus restrictive. And this gives the opportunity to speak briefly to a phrase that I coined years back now called spiritual sabotage. Spiritual sabotage for the untrained highly sensitive, a highly sensitive who defaults to shadows, is about using spiritual practice as a way to excuse. So you can use spiritual practice to support you with showing up to marketing, showing up to selling, showing up to investing with the intent of expansion for self and others. Or you can use spirituality as an excuse to restrict, pull back from marketing, pull back from selling, pull back from investing. I'm not supposed to market, sell, or invest to support because God told me not to. According to A Course in Miracles, you are not upset for the reason you think. There is only one problem: choosing fear over love. And I'll say that again. According to A Course in Miracles, you are not upset for the reason that you think. There is only one problem: choosing fear over love. Spiritual as proactive, choosing love. Spiritual as expansive, choosing love. Spiritual as reactivity, choosing fear. Spiritual as restrictive, choosing fear. Breath in and let it out. All of this said, I'm going to be bringing us back from roundtables early on this week's training roundtable as an opportunity, a special opportunity to practice hashtag vibe up spiritual. With that, I'm going to hand this over to Business Miracles Community Curator and Business Miracles Senior Coach team member, Lorna Lang. Lorna, welcome.
Thank you so much, Heather. So today I want to bring forward a phrase we sometimes use in and about the highly sensitive leadership training programs. And that phrase is, be here as a student. And it seems so timely with it being back to school time in so many of our local community areas. So be here as a student, and I recommend you write that down, and that will really help you anchor that for yourself. The reason we say be here as a student is because being here in that way is what will move you the most quickly and easily toward what you want to create by being in this program. So of course, there's a time and place for you to be the expert, to be marketing, to be networking, but that is not within this program. Here, you get to be a student. Yay. So building on what Heather shared about Mighty Networks in a way, is that Heather consciously designed the program in this way for you to be here as a student so you can fully relax into learning how to master your highly sensitive nervous system and discover balance, and how to show up visibly and vulnerably without perfectionism, and how to transform past unhelpful patterns and just get the help you need and you're asking for by being in the program to create a thriving business and a peaceful life as a high-functioning, proactive, highly sensitive. So again, I'm going to say it again, be here as a student. Let yourself practice here. Support each other as peers, as fellow students or sister students in an aligned community that's here for you to learn and evolve in. And let us, the team, the Business Miracles team, be the experts that we are in supporting highly sensitive entrepreneurs and leaders. And as part of all of this, we remind you that in the rules and guidelines on the community forum page in your online learning center, where we specifically talk about being here as a student and a peer, you are not obligated or expected to read or like or comment on every member's posts. So take care of your training and personal growth needs first. And then if you're called on and if you have the time, consciously choose a few posts to interact with, and that will support building your sense of community. And we actually really do see that, of course, happening for so many of you. And we hear all the time about the value you experience in this safe, consciously designed program. So I bow to you and I thank you. And I look forward to that continuing for all of you. All right. And from here, I'd like to turn it over to Junior Coach Elma.
Thank you, Lorna. I'm excited to make a connection for you to a training in your HSL program that can support related to what Heather just taught. It's a series of trainings actually called the HSE Selling Success System. When you're ready to start marketing and reaching out in service to your potential clients, these trainings will show you how to connect with the divine or spirit, God, universe, or whatever language you use so that you shift from selling to serving. You'll learn how to help your potential clients connect too, so that they make a decision that is guided. The HSE Selling Success System is a foundational training that you'll find in your marketing leadership track. FNDT 1610, 1611, and 1612, parts 1, 2, and 3. And by the end, you will have a script that has proven to get results for so many members in this community, including myself. Now, each of you is at a different stage in your business, so use your highly sensitive strengths to discern if this training would be helpful for you at this time. Back to you, Heather.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much for that very insightful curating of how to really effectively use the highly sensitive leadership training program, both Coach Lorna and Coach Alma. Much, much appreciated.